let's talk about the role that makes you think you're colorblind, but in reality, it's just you looking at a gray screen all the time. Welcome to 10 things that only... You know what? Actually, let's make it 15 things that only ADC mains will understand. Let's go. Let's just get this one out of the way, shall we? Number 1, getting one shot.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Yeah, there really isn't much to say about this one. Number 2, losing to the enemy top or mid laner who was 0 and 10. Alright, this is a very, very popular comment among you ADC players, and before we get into this, as a top lane main myself, look, I would just like to say this isn't entirely true. Who am I kidding? It's 100% true. If I'm ever behind as a top laner, you can already bet that I'm going to be on the hunt for that juicy ADC because I know it's a fight I can win. It doesn't matter if you're doing okay in the game or that you're fed, because if it comes to a 1v1, you're going to die. That's just kind of the way it is. The only way you really survive is if you play it absolutely perfect. But even then, sometimes it's a stretch. For all you ADCs out there, it's just the unfortunate circle of life. On that note, that brings me into number 3, assassins. Anything with assassins. But really quick, I wanted to thank the sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. I feel like everybody knows about Raid Shadow Legends by now, but did you know that's actually Raid's 2nd anniversary? That's right, as of this month, Raid Shadow Legends is 2 years old, so happy birthday. The game has come a long way in that time, and there's never been a better time to start playing. What I really like about the game is how many champions and items there are. Slowly upgrading your champion and giving them better gear is extremely addicting. Personally, my favorite champion so far is Elhain. You can get her right off the bat, and she's very similar to Ashe. However, unlike Ashe, you don't have to worry about getting one shot.
Nice.
Also, because it's Raid's 2nd anniversary, they have special events running all the way through mid-April where you can win some insane prizes. They're even launching their very first clan vs clan tournament where players can battle it out against other clans to see who's on top. Also, the first champion in the badass looking Shadowkin faction is being released too. Plus, there are a bunch of events and tournaments you can participate in to earn some awesome rewards as well. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan my QR code and you'll get a free epic champion who is great for Doom Tower. You'll also get a bunch of other free loot too. Plus, you can summon these champions as soon as you get into the game. All the goodness will be waiting for you here. So make sure to get on it because the rewards will only be available for new players for the next 30 days. Now back to the video. Where were we? Ah yes, the double assassins. Imagine if there was a class of champions that was specifically dedicated to screwing over an entire role and making their lives miserable. Imagine. There's nothing worse than locking in your innocent ADC champion only to see the enemy team immediately follow it up with a Rengar, Eve, Nocturne, or Zed. Nobody likes Zed as an ADC player. Wait, who am I kidding? Nobody likes Zed in general, except Zed mains, I guess. What can make this even worse is when you play an ADC with no self-peel. It's okay, you probably didn't want to play the game anyways. Plus, the gray screen is probably easier on your eyes. You know, you gotta look at the positives sometimes. Number 4. Not having peel. Going into a solo queue game, or I suppose any game in general, and having no one peel for you as an ADC can be a little bit frustrating to say the least. There's nothing like a support or tank running away from you as you're getting collapsed on by literally the entire enemy team. Always a feels good moment, you know? This also brings us into number 5. Always being the first target of the entire enemy team. Honestly, I think this is one of the biggest ones. Let's face it, even the low elo players like myself understand that you're always supposed to kill the ADC first. If there's a League of Legends school, first off, why is there a League of Legends school? And then second off, I feel like that's the first thing they would teach you. Having a target on your back for the entire game is literally the worst because you feel like you're constantly having to fight for survival. And if your team doesn't peel for you, as mentioned in number 4, then you're in for one aggravating game. The worst thing though is when somebody on the enemy team walks past everybody just to kill you, even if it's really not worth it at all. They really just don't want to let ADCs play the game. Number 6. Everything with supports. Alright guys, this is going to be a long one, so hang in there with me. In fact, we're going to split this into multiple subcategories. Let's start off with having your wave screwed up by your support, or in other words, your support breaking your freeze. There's nothing worse than knowing wave management yourself, but then your support being completely clueless and breaking a perfect freeze. Support's taking your CS. This one's always a classic. What's always fun is when they think they have Relic up too and they don't. Yeah, I've been that guy. Or another good one is when they decide that the lane is lost after one kill and they say, I am the captain now, and decide to try and be the ADC too, putting you both even further behind. Good stuff. When your tank support plays behind you. Don't you love it when your tank support, or honestly support in general, hides behind you? The squishy ADC? Who's supporting who down here? Having a bad support in general. There's not much to say on this one, but this tends to happen more often than not, especially if you get an auto-filled support. Support's taking your kill. Yeah, this one's kind of a given too, but sometimes supports just keep yoinking your kill and it can be very frustrating. Then they'll say something like, wow, I don't know how I keep getting all the kills. And you're like, well, have you tried not attacking them when they're low? That's some 200 IQ strats right there. Sometimes minions can be hard to farm under turret, especially depending on which champion you're playing. And your support could easily auto it a few times to make it one auto attack away from death, but instead they just kind of sit there sometimes. Having your support engage when you don't want to fight. A lot of the time, supports won't even look at your health or mana before charging right at their team, and then they'll end up dying for no reason. On top of that, if they do go in, you'll feel obligated to try and help follow up even though you know you aren't going to win. But if you don't follow up and just let them die, then you're definitely going to get flamed for not helping them. Another fun example of this is when they go in and you're not even close to them at all. But they're not smart enough to see that, so they end up trying to fight anyways. Your support's roaming and leaving you completely by yourself. More importantly, roaming at the wrong time. Roaming as a support is understandably a part of the job, but when your support leaves you for no reason or for too long, and then it just turns into a 1v2 and the other team will inevitably have their way with you, that's when you know it's going to be a long game. Your support soaking up experience. Now on the flip side of things, a lot of supports don't know when to let you farm and instead will soak up XP, making it really hard to get stronger. Alright, that's enough on that. I feel a little bit bad about roasting support so hard, so make sure to check out 10 things that only support mains will understand as well. Number 7. Having a little room for error. ADC is by far one of the least forgiving roles in the game. By that I mean if you screw up once, you're going to die. Even one misclick when kiting, being out of position, or being a little too far pushed will result in you dead. However, if you're playing a tank, you have a lot more lenience. As a tank, you can overstay, get caught, and still make it out alive just because of your health and how tanky you are. It's like having 9 lives against 1 life. It almost seems unfair. Number 8. Having to click a lot. Holy crap. Okay, the difference between physically playing ADC and physically playing any other role is crazy. I feel like ADC is the only role that can actually make your wrist start hurting after one game. The role itself is so click intensive because of always having to orb walk or kite against your enemies. You'll always be clicking 100 times in a fight while your Malphite top laner will click like 5 times. Additionally, you almost have to learn an entire new skill when playing ADC, attack moving. For those who don't know, attack move is a settings bound to your A key by default, but it allows you to click a key instead of clicking with a mouse to auto attack. But this skill takes a lot of practice to do as well, which most players don't even have to learn. Yeah, it's a nice skill to have when playing some other champions like Kill, but for the most part, only ADC mains really have to mess around with it, and it takes a lot of practice. Number 9. Losing lane because of meta. ADC is probably one of the most meta-dominated roles. Take Samira for example. When she was released, there was pretty much no one who could beat her or even match her. Yeah, I mean a lot of it was because she was so freaking strong when they released her initially, but I feel like this is especially true in bot. Kai'Sa is another great example. Her win rate is really high and it seems like whoever has the Kai'Sa on their team will win. Whoever is strong in the current patch will always have a huge impact when it comes to ADCs. Number 10. It's hard to come back. If you lose lane as an ADC, it's extremely difficult to come back into the game. If you're a 0 and 10 top laner or a 0 and 10 mid laner, you still have your 10 death Yasuo power spike, or at the very least you can always still target the ADC. And if you're a tank, you're always somewhat relevant because you can just be a meat shield. But if you're a 0 and 10 ADC, you're pretty much just screwed. You're not tanky, you don't soak damage, and you don't really do any damage, so you can't really help kill the enemy team. At that point, you're pretty much just a super minion that gives extra gold to the other team. Feels bad. Number 11. The champions kinda suck. ADC is a funny role because sometimes the ADCs are so bad that it's straight up better to play mid laners or top laners in that position. The ADC meta is always a fun one. Number 12. Getting hooked. There's just no better feeling than getting hooked as an ADC, especially when facing a Thresh, Blitz, or Nautilus. Speaking of Nautilus, don't you love seeing those hooks hit you when they're a billion miles away? Seriously, what is the hitbox on that thing? Number 13. Getting TP'd on by the enemy top laner. This just sucks in general for bot lane. But if you ever push too far and the enemy top has TP or Shen ult, then there's always a risk that you're gonna get clapped. And you already know if they come, you're their first target. Additionally, you can bet that your own top laner isn't going to do anything to help. Number 14. Getting CS anxiety. As an ADC, the farm is life, almost literally, and not farming can be, well, a bit stressful sometimes. Number 15. Being an ADC but feeling like you're never doing any damage. Even though your role name is literally attack damage carry, it can a lot of the time feel like you're doing nothing. In fact, sometimes it can feel like you're doing more damage to yourself than the actual enemy, especially when hitting someone with Thornmail. Some honorable mentions go to the 4-man bot Flustercluck, warding a bush at the same time as your support, rarely getting the red buff from your jungler, or getting a skill shot support that can't hit skill shots. Well, that's 15 things that only ADC mains will understand. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. Also, if you're looking for a good support or a great place to hang out and chill with a bunch of other League players / gamers, you should definitely check out the Discord. It's a great place to meet some new friends or keep updated with what's going on. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!